The old woman sat sinking into the easy chair by the window, the same chair she had owned longer than she could remember. Its arms were worn smooth by decades of resting hands, and the fabric carried the faint smell of dust, lavender, and time itself. The chair creaked softly when she settled into it, as if it knew her weight, her bones, her silence. Outside, the afternoon light leaned against the walls of the house, pale and tired. The curtains moved slightly with the breeze, but nothing else did. The house had learned how to be quiet. She folded her hands in her lap and stared at the door across the room. She had stared at that door for years. Her son had walked through it once, carrying a small bag and a heart full of places he wanted to go. She could still see him as he was that morning, young, restless, standing too tall in the doorway, pretending not to notice how her hands trembled as she poured his tea. He had smiled, kissed her cheek, and said, "I'll come back soon, Mom." Soon was a word she had trusted back then. Now her son lived only in the spaces between her thoughts. She thought of him every day, but especially in the afternoons when the house grew quiet and the shadows stretched long across the floor. She imagined him as a child again, running down the hallway, laughing, calling her name. She remembered how he used to curl up beside her on this very chair, his head against her arm, asking endless questions about the world. She had always answered, even when she was tired, even when she didn't know the answers. She had believed that love was enough to keep someone close. Her fingers traced the edge of the chair slowly. Time had taken many things from her, her strength, her friends, her voice that once filled rooms, but it had not taken her memories. Sometimes she wished it would. Memories could be heavy when you carried them alone. The clock on the wall ticked loudly. Each second felt like a reminder that life was still moving, even though hers had narrowed to this room, this chair, this waiting. She wondered if her son ever thought of her sitting here. Did he remember the sound of her footsteps in the morning, the way she hummed while cooking, the way she used to watch the door when he was late coming home? She told herself she was proud of him. She had always been proud. But pride did not warm the house at night, and it did not answer when she spoke aloud just to hear a human voice. As the light outside faded, she leaned her head back against the chair and closed her eyes. For a moment, she imagined hearing footsteps, the door opening, his voice calling, "Ma, I'm home." Her heart lifted, fragile and hopeful the way it always did. Then the house remained silent. Still, she stayed in the easy chair. She always did. Because as long as she sat there, remembering, loving, waiting, her son was not completely gone. And as long as she could think of him, she was not entirely alone, even in a house that had learned how to be quiet.